so let's have a look now at starting to understand the concept of collaborative selling. So let's just start exploring it. So the first thing you want to do is that collaborative selling, as you know, is where sales professionals find innovative, creative ways to become an additional resource to their customers, where they form a partnership with them because they completely integrate into their customers' businesses. All right, so the first thing is, let's have a look at an example of forming a partnership, right? So if I think about my own organization, the way that we integrate into our customers' businesses, obviously we provide great sales enablement and all the processes that go in advance of that. But once we've completed an initial sales enablement solution, what do we do next? Well, that's where we actually look at including things like video training. So we create a whole video training series that the sales teams actually utilize on an ongoing basis. So once we've finished that initial 3, 6, 18 months of sales enablement training, now we need to support the team to remind them, because ultimately they've developed a new sales success habit set, but the last thing that we want is for them to start going back into their old bad behaviors or their old bad routines that they used to perform prior to developing a very powerful, predictable sales process and all the sales enablement resources to support them. So to do that, we support them with video training series, which they then utilize those video trainings during their sales meeting, which takes them right back and reminds them. They also continue using the online system, the e-learning platform, to go back and remind themselves. Specifically, one of the things that they'll never finish, right, is adding extra value or appreciating customers. That's an area where you need to constantly innovate and come up with new creative ideas to keep adding value, or said differently, to keep appreciating your prospects and your customers. We also send them e-signs. Those e-signs go on for 5 years after we finish a sales enablement training process. We also send them reminders, so we keep reminding them to keep performing those. We send them sporadic email reminders, we send them WhatsApp reminders, we send them SMS reminders. So this is on an ongoing basis to keep reminding, to keep supporting our team to integrate, to completely integrate into their customers' businesses, or should I rather say, to help us to remain integrated into our customers' businesses on a long-going, or should I say on an ongoing basis. The next thing, you want to consistently look for innovative ways to become an additional resource, right? So we spoke about forming a partnership. Now we want to think about forming or becoming an additional resource, right? A great example of that is one of my clients who they sell equipment into various retailers. Now their whole business model revolves around helping the retailer or the wholesaler to actually be able to earn the greatest return on each square meter of space that's employed. So what they do to integrate into their customers' businesses is they go and they do the financial calculations. They actually come and they hold. So it's not just a case of taking orders, it's a case of integrating into their customers' businesses, becoming an additional business resource in that you, as the sales professional, actually integrate into their business. You actually find a way of adding value in the form of holding meaningful financial conversations with your customers. The next thing that you need to do is you need to look for opportunities to completely integrate into your customers' businesses. And a great example of that was a hair dye company. What they were doing was they would arrive at a hairdresser and they would wait for the hairdresser to have to go and do a stock take, give them the order. Now what they do instead is they arrive, they've become an additional resource, they've integrated into their customers' businesses, they've built trust at a level of 10 out of 10, and now they arrive, they do the stock take, so it saves the hairdresser buckets and buckets of time, and they then place the order. It's become such a powerful process that the hairdressers where they're doing this have actually stopped ordering from a second supplier, because the second supplier comes in and expects them to have done a stock take, it's become such a powerful process for this hair dye company that at most of the salons, they become a single supplier because it's become such a simple, or they simplified the process of doing business for them to such a degree that the hairdressers no longer want to conduct stock takes, etc. So what I want you to do now is I want you to think about collaborative selling in your markets, in your industry. What could you possibly do to form a partnership with your customers? What could you do to integrate into their businesses, or what could you do to become an additional resource to them? So really apply your mind and start to think, what can you do to completely form a collaborative selling partnership with all your customers?